Hi, Power Chat TV viewers. This is Aizak Buyondo. You're watching Power Chat. Don't move a muscle. Stay tuned.
Hi, Power Chat viewers. Today we're here with Aizak Buyondo, a Ugandan, and who is a blogger, a writer, dealing with fashion, and he's also a consultant. Isaac, how are you today?
Very well. How are you?
Thank you. It's nice to see you today, to see a Ugandan who's a blogger and also a consultant. So I understand that you do blogging and you cover, what kind of things do you cover in your blog?
I am a writer and a blogger, fashion and travel, mainly what I write about. However, sometimes I do events and I do write about technology, sometimes, just about sometimes, but not all the time. But my main focus is on fashion and travel. Yeah.
Fantastic. So what got you into fashion and travel?
Passion. I have a passion for fashion. I mean, I know that's cliche. However, I do have those that have known me for years know that I've always experimented with fashion. I love it. I absolutely love fashion. So, um, I started going to fashion events. Eventually, I started writing about them, writing about my experiences in the fashion world, and somehow it caught up. I got such an audience that my luxury lifestyle. So they wanted me to write for luxury lifestyle. So they got me on board and told me that yes, you can come and write for us, which was really interesting. I mean, because it gives me a totally different international audience. So I just grabbed that, and I've never looked back. I've just been writing since.
Great. So, and have you always been writing? Have you always had an interest in writing? Because being as a Ugandan, I think there's a few writers out there, but we are unsure and unaware of them. So, have you always been into writing, or you've just picked it up as you went along?
I was never a writer. However, I used to read a lot, but never write. But I was very opinionated and I was quite gobby. And I have an opinion about literally anything. So it was just right that I started to write my opinions about fashion and where I was going, restaurants. Because I do like the finer things in life. And I feel like it's only right that I have to share my experiences with the world because not everyone gets to experiment my lifestyle or life as I see it. Definitely, very few people experience life as I see it. So, it is nice for me to share it with my readers, my followers, and whoever is bothered to read my blog. Or
Great, 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 wonderful. So, having said that, you also consult, right? And I understand it's to do with fashion as well. You consult about fashion. So, when you consult, is it branding also? Can you elaborate on that?
I do consult for tour companies, tourism boards, fashion brands, with PR companies. So basically, it's all about marketing, branding, social media. If there's a product launch, if there's a hotel launch, if there's a menu change, you name it, it's all out there. So they will call me and they get me on board, and then they pick my brain. They want to know what I feel about what they're going or where they want to take their brand. So basically, a few meetings without going into detail. But yes, I've consulted with different brands all over the world. Unfortunately, I haven't consulted with any in Uganda. They haven't reached out. But around the world, in New York, Mexico, Paris, Milan, London, Thailand, I have that kind of work has taken me around just doing that.
Great. So, as a Ugandan, and living in the diaspora, and also, do you feel like you're accepted in what you're doing in terms of the fashion and the luxurious lifestyle that you write about? Do you feel like Ugandans in the diaspora are supporting your work?
Not particularly. I don't feel they're supporting my work, but that is not a fault of their own. On account of the fact that I write about luxury items, luxury travel, luxury fashion, and not everyone can afford that kind of those pieces or what I write about. So occasionally they'll just delve in and out if there's something that I write, or if I write something high street, because occasionally I will write about something high street if it interests me. Um, so they're not really that interested. They don't really invest their time in reading my blog. Um, so I don't feel they're supportive that way. But I'm not complaining because, I mean, the fashion world has accepted me, the travel world has accepted me, the global travel world and fashion world has accepted me, and has welcomed me into their bosom. So I'm doing quite well. If they choose to support me, well and good. But I don't think they do, and I don't begrudge them for it.
Okay, you had that Power Chart viewers. So as a Ugandan, do you go out there and explain that you keep your culture, you keep maintaining that you're a Ugandan, you're proud of who you are when you're blogging and traveling?
I am proud of who I am, and obviously, everyone that I've met, they know that I'm Ugandan. Even in the fashion world, if you go and ask, some editors in Vogue, Tatler, Cosmopolitan, wherever, and you ask them if they know Ugandans in the fashion industry or on the social scene, socialites, and you name it. I don't like that word, but there you go. They will always come up with, oh yeah, we know Aizak, especially in London. If you ask about any Ugandan on the London fashion scene or on the event scene, they'll always mention my name. So I'm proud to be Ugandan.
Well, Isaac, you mentioned that a lot of Ugandans they haven't reached out to you in Uganda in terms of your fashion, your blogging, and so forth. Why do you think that is?
I think, I don't know, but part of me thinks that they think I don't support them. That's one. Or two, they think that my audience is not for them. Because I have not lived in Uganda for such a long time, there is an issue of them and me. I have not been in Uganda or lived in Uganda for a long time. So for them, I am an outsider. I am still an outsider. I think it would be different if I was spending a lot of time in Uganda and I was on their scene. I think it will be different. But the fact that I live here and all the things that I write about, all the stories that I write about are pretty much foreign brands. They kind of don't relate to me that much, if I may say.
Interesting, but there's still foreigners living in Uganda too.
Absolutely, but again, I would love to promote to write about Ugandan fashion and Ugandan travel. I have done a piece on Uganda, Chobe Lodge. They reached out to me and said, do you want to review Chobe Lodge? And I was like, oh, absolutely. This is my country, anything to help. However, if you don't reach out to me, how the hell am I going to know that you're doing this?
So what you're saying, they should reach out to you, the designers themselves. You don't have that time to support your own community.
Let's put it this way. If the PR company of Vivienne Westwood, Giorgio Armani, and Ralph Lauren, you name it, all those people you see on my blog, if they can send me these images, they can send me their products, if they can send me emails, bombard me with emails to write about their stuff, surely someone in Uganda, if you know what you want, and I'm one of you, all it takes is an email. What's the worst that could happen? Me not replying to you?
Okay, Power Chat viewers, you've had that. You've had Mr. Isaac say he's reachable, he's accessible. The only worst thing that could happen is him not reaching out to you. So, about your sexual preference, you mentioned something earlier on that we touched on, that the media don't reach out. And in Uganda, it's not much. They don't much accept you going out there and telling them what you do, whatever, maybe due to your sexual preference. So do you think they're acceptive in regards to you as a person, or they judge you because of your sexual preference?
Actually, behind closed doors, I don't think they really care, to be quite honest. And that's my genuine thought of the Ugandan population. Behind closed doors, they don't care. As a group, it becomes a mayhem. Then as a group, no one wants to stand up and say, you know what, I endorse that person because not because he's of the alternative lifestyle, but because he's doing good. I mean, he's done something for himself. He's succeeded. He's achieved something. No one will endorse you knowing that at the end of the day, you are tainted by your alternative lifestyle.
What do you mean by alternative lifestyle? Enlighten me.
Sexual orientation, I just wanted to put a spin to it. Do you know what I mean?
You had that, Power Chat viewers. He wanted to put a spin to it. So, do you mind me asking when did you start being of that alternative lifestyle? Or, how did you come about?
I'll ask you the same question. When did you start being of whatever lifestyle that you're in? Because it's just about the same thing. When you're growing up, you experimented with God knows what. I don't know if you experimented, but Lord knows everyone watching experimented with this and that. I won't delve into it. However, if someone asks me a question like that, I throw it back at them. When did you start? Because what makes you think that I am different from someone else? I grew up as a child in a loving home with loving parents, loving siblings. I am just like everyone else. Just because it's only because I'm different from you. My sexuality is different from you, but I'm just like you. Well, maybe not everyone else, but yeah.
Okay, well, there is protocols. It's been known that, between a man and a woman, they make love and they conceive children. Of course, like if your sexual preference is to the same sex, people will say, oh, you can't, you won't be able to do that. How do you feel about that?
Is everyone's sole purpose in life to procreate? I think not. This is 2015. Not everyone procreates in the right channels. And if I wanted a kid, I mean, there's surrogate, there's many ways. If I really, I was desperate for a kid. I mean, there's barren women going around having babies. There's gay men who are having babies. There's many ways. But that is not something that I aspire to. It's not something for me. But if you want to have kids, then by all means, go ahead. But I know very many straight heterosexual friends of mine who don't want to have kids. But then why are fingers pointed at me? Just because I cannot biologically procreate with the opposite sex. It's my what I say. It's my life. It's not a choice, and that's something that many Ugandans don't understand. Sexuality is not a choice, and I'm not here to educate anyone.
So do you feel like they accept you in the community, in the Ugandan community? It's been accepted.
Do they have a choice?
Well, hence why I ask your opinion.
They don't have a choice. I am here. They have to just deal with it. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? I mean, if I want to go, I don't usually go into the Ugandan community, but I do. Occasionally, I do. When I go with a few friends of mine. I have a good time. I dance. I do what I have to do, and then I leave. If you have a problem, look away. I mean, I'm not there to satisfy. My sole purpose in life is not to please everyone. I'm not on this world to please anybody other than myself. So, if someone has a problem with me or what I stand for, then that is your problem. That is your burden to bear. Stick with it.
So do you feel the same way when you go to Uganda?
I haven't been in a long time. However, that is their business. I've grown up, even when I was still in Uganda, I was open to myself. I was myself. And I was always of the view that if you do not like what you see, if I don't like what I see, I look away straight away and I don't actually talk about it. So the same applies to you. If you do not like what you're seeing, or if you go on my Facebook and you don't like how I dress or what I speak about or what I promote, unlike it, block me. There's many ways you can block me out of your life, really, and I disappear completely. So I'm not forcing myself onto you. So if I'm walking down the street and you just feel like I'm disgusting, I'm repulsive, look away or do whatever you have to do. Like take a pill or something. I don't know.
Okay. So, do you think you are a trendsetter? Would you say that you're a trendsetter?
I'm not. I don't follow trends. I may write about trends because that's my job. However, I do not follow trends.
So, Isaac, You see, in the Ugandan community, not only Ugandan community, the Ugandan fashion, African fashion in general, how far do you think the Ugandan fashion has gone in regards to within the African nation?
I'll start off with Uganda. I think they've done well, as in getting people to sit up and realize that actually fashion is a huge business. It's a multi-million dollar business that can bring a lot into the economy of Uganda. And people are starting to recognize that, and they're starting to actually respect people in fashion. Whether or not the core fashion itself is actually taking off is entirely different, because I have not seen any fashion designer apart from Gloria Wavamuno, Stella Atao. There are a few ones that I have seen that have actually got press and they've got some international attention out there. But most of them, they think that by buying things in China and bringing them and putting up a shop, that is fashion. It is not actually. What I would love to see is actually getting designers, Ugandan designers themselves, opening up stores in Uganda, being supported by Ugandans. And by designers, I don't mean Bitenji and everyone going and sewing Bitenjis, but actually being very creative. Because Ugandans, we've got a lot of talent. However, they are scared. They are scared to ruffle feathers, to use their creativity, to go crazy with their creativity. Because creatives are very crazy. You have to step outside the box and don't care what other people are saying and just go with what is in your head. Now those are the designers I want to see coming out of Uganda. Those are the designers I want to see in the pages of the magazines of New Vision, not stylist this, shop owner that. No, I don't want that. I want the fashion industry to be looked at as fashion.
Fantastic. So, in saying that, what tips would you have for those that are trying to come out? You know, the good ones, the downfalls, and because you're writing about these kind of issues, and you've been in those fashion industries. What advice and what tips what are the good and pros out of it?
Um, it's very rewarding because obviously as a creative, when you see your work being appreciated by the rest of the world or by a community, it's absolutely rewarding. It's very fulfilling. However, most people, it's hard work because fashion is cutthroat. They don't take prisoners. There's the backstabbing, there's the bitching, there's the, they'll step on your toes. People will literally throw piles under your stilettos so you can fall down. Like, literally, it's that harsh. People are harsh in fashion. So you have to have a thick skin for you to make it in fashion.
That, and we understand that you do a bit of charity work. Would you like to elaborate on that?
Yeah, I do a bit of charity. I would love to do more charity, but obviously because I don't live in Uganda, but there is Metro Health that is coming up at the moment. It's going to be a clinic in Kampala, helping with women's health. It will have like gynecologists. It will have sexual health as well, mental health. It will touch a lot of things, but they'll also be doing outreach projects, going out in the community and telling people about diseases. Because at the moment, there's some diseases that really people are dying because of ignorance. They don't know. So we will be doing a lot of that. So I will be telling you more about that when it starts hitting off. But it's called Metro Health. Google it. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be a clinic, and it's going to be charity. Is going to be free of charge. It's going to be having like the best doctors. We've got some very fabulous doctors going to be working there already. So I'm quite excited about that. I mean, giving something back, showing that it's just not about sequins and Gucci boots.
Ah, oh, fantastic. Someone out there is listening to this interview and wondering, wow, um, in reflection to someone who's going through like a hard time with their sexual orientation, um, it could be like someone who's scared to come out, of who they are sexually. So, what advice would you give out there to both young men and young women out there who are struggling with their sexual status?
Number one, it's never easy coming out, even to someone who's where it's obvious that he's out. It's never an easy thing to come out, especially to your loved ones. So what I advise people is, first love yourself. First fight the demons in your head that are telling you you're wrong, you're bad, you're not a person, you're not the right person, you're doing bad, you're evil. All those things the motions that go in through your head. Love yourself first. Before anyone else accepts you, you need to accept yourself first. You need to accept and love yourself first, and then everything else will fall into place. Because without that, you're confused. You're just listening to what everyone else is saying, and you lose focus of who you really are. So just to love themselves, and just know that it's not bad to be who you are.
Who is your favorite artist right now in Uganda? Give us a name, a song, so that we can play.
That's going to be hard because I know some of them personally, and I think they're not going to appreciate that. However, at the moment, I don't know him personally, but I absolutely love his music. He's everything to me at the moment. I'm listening to his music up all over again on repeat. King Saha, I love the man. I mean, he's great. His voice is soulful. I don't really watch his videos that much because I'm not really that interested. However, the songs themselves just do it for me. He's amazing.
So what song is that?
Gundeze and Molirwana. I love that. I love those two songs. They're amazing.
You had that pouch up.
Molirwana Oli kumutima kukabya Oh Molirwana Walero Molirwana Omutima kutwala Walero Molirwana Labantu seno kulwala Walero Molirwana Oyongera kubala Walero Molirwana Ndowooza cholinda you want to see me on my knees Chewesunga to what me crying pleading for your life My neighbor I shouted louder Jagalobe my lover What them my sweet neighbor Kati njagala njatule Besikula byeko obwongo bwezera Tomaga nzakwa